We've been talking about the present moment. Let's talk about decades. Several topics. Europe. The Muslim proportion of the population in Europe is growing. Amsterdam is likely to become majority Muslim by 2015. Russia, from the Urals to the Pacific, majority Muslim by 2050. You see three alternatives, and I'd like to go quickly through all three. It's television, so we talk about the rise and fall of empires in 90 seconds, please. You give me the odds. First, indigenous Europeans and immigrant Muslims find a way to live together in harmony. How likely?
5%.
All right. Second, Europe comes to be dominated by the Muslim religion and culture, becoming Eurabia, in effect a part of the Muslim world.
47.5%.
Oh, that's the likeliest.
Well, no, the other one's 47.5% too.
Oh, I see. All right. The third possibility is that Europeans who still make up 95% of the population, I'm quoting you directly, they can at any time reassert control should they see Muslims posing a threat to a valued way of life, close quote. That's,
in other words, I can't choose between those latter two.
But you do consider it likely that Europeans might in some way or another reassert control over the indigenous Europeans?
I think that's as likely as there's simply continuing the trends of the last 5 decades.
If you look out 2-3 decades, and your two likeliest alternatives, Muslims become dominant or Europeans reassert their own culture?
Leading to civil strife.
That's the question. Both of those are likely to involve civil strife or not.
If the current trends continue, there need not be civil strife. One just has a quiet transformation of the continent into what some people are calling Eurabia.
I see. All right.
Europeans just go quietly into this new order with Sharia and Islamic domination. But if the Europeans reassert themselves, I think it's likely that there will be strife. Yeah, and I think the French riots of October, November 2005 are a precursor of what it might look like. Those were not particularly lethal. Future ones will probably be more lethal, but this widespread violence and assertion.
So we have already reached a point at which, if the basket of countries that has represented our closest allies since certainly in the last 5 decades, if the basket of countries in Europe wish to reassert European political values, European culture, there will be strife.
I believe there will be, yeah.
We've already reached that point.
I believe so.
I'm going to ask a couple of questions that I hope have more cheerful answers.
I've learned, although I'm fairly optimistic and cheerful person in private, when it comes to my Middle Eastern and Islamic career, it's a good career move to be pessimistic. It usually works out.